Bonjour à tous, welcome back to my channel, it's Soy Travels. For today's video, we'll be talking about the top 10 safest airlines in the world. As we all know, 2020 had a serious impact on the aviation industry, with record low on passenger numbers and countless health protocols. While the risk of COVID-19 transmission on board remains very low, these airlines have been recognized as best in keeping the overall air travel safety guidelines and have implemented measures to safeguard the well-being of passengers and the crews. Now, before anything else, I would just like to thank everyone for continued support. My channel is regularly posting videos and aviation and travel contents, so if this is something that you might be interested in, please do consider clicking the subscribe button below and I will surely appreciate it. Now if you're ready, I'm definitely ready, let's start. Number 10. British Airways. British Airways is a national flag carrier of United Kingdom. The country has hardly hit by pandemic, which caused the government to implement strict rules and health protocols. I happened to fly British Airways from London to New York last year. You can also check my video up here. Number 9. Cathay Pacific. Cathay Pacific is an airline based in Hong Kong International Airport. As you may recall, the airline was one of the first airlines to take hit with financial troubles and record number of job losses in amidst of coronavirus outbreak. However, the airline was also the pioneer airline to introduce new technologies and set high standards to keep the air travel safety. Number 8. Alaska Airlines. Alaska Airlines is a major American airline headquartered at SeaTac, Washington. The airline operates a large domestic route networks connecting from Pacific Northwest and Alaska to over 100 destinations. The airline has implemented very strict federal guidelines which passengers are required to follow throughout the flight and around the airport. Number 7. Etihad Airways. Etihad Airways is a flag carrier and second largest airline of United Arab Emirates. The airline is one of the first airlines that canceled their passenger operations as mandated by the government and had introduced new technologies and set guidelines for safe travel during pandemic. The airline had also implemented mandatory COVID-19 PCR negative test results before boarding. Number 6. EVA Air. EVA Air is an airline based in Taoyuan International Airport in Taiwan. The airline was one of the first airlines to take hit during the start of pandemic by canceling their operations to control passenger flow within the country. Taiwan is now recognized as pioneer nation in fighting COVID-19, which required the airlines to implement taking passengers' temperature before boarding and to complete declaration form for contact tracing, which later followed by other airlines. Number 5. Emirates. Emirates is one of the major airlines of United Arab Emirates based in Dubai International Airport. The airline was earlier utilized for repatriation flights by other countries to transport their citizens back to its origin due to travel restrictions. The airline had a major financial loss which resulted in job cuts and cancellation of major destinations. Nevertheless, the airline safety guidelines and outstanding service was never compromised. One of the most notable actions the airline did first was providing free COVID safety kit for all their passengers. Number 4. Singapore Airlines. Singapore Airlines is the flag carrier of Singapore, which is based in Singapore Changi Airport. Singapore was one of the first countries to have COVID-19 cases, which resulted to closing borders and canceling non-essential flights. The airline was also one of the pioneer airlines to introduce safety guidelines and new technologies to make air travel safety during pandemic. It comes not as a surprise that Singapore Airlines is recognized as one of the best airlines in the world. Number 3. Air New Zealand. Air New Zealand is a flag carrier airline of New Zealand based in Auckland International Airport. The airline operates scheduled passenger flights to 20 domestic and 32 international destinations in 20 countries. The airline is also consistent in excellent safety travel records, even before the pandemic, and committed to playing its role protecting and country's fight against COVID-19 by working closely with country's health ministry officials. The country was also praised for its effort making 0 recorded cases later in 2020. Number 2. Qatar Airways. Qatar Airways is a state-owned national carrier of Qatar based in Hamad International Airport in Doha. Whilst majority of airlines in the world have cancelled its operations, Qatar Airways shied away from challenges that the aviation industry had faced and continued its operations through repatriation and chartered flights. The airline has also implemented new safety measures to ensure that passengers are safe when traveling on board and on the ground. The airline has been recognized as the best airline in the world. You may also check my video up here. And finally on our list, number 1 safest airline in the world is Qantas. Qantas is a flag carrier and the biggest airline in Australia with hubs in Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney Airport. The airline has kept its title as the safest airline in the world during COVID-19 and came out of the top among 385 airlines for its truly amazing record of first operations and pioneer in safety guidelines. Qantas is also highly ranked for its position as a leader in safety development of safety initiatives like Future Air Navigation System. Do you agree with this list? Leave your comments on your personal experience with this airline during pandemic in the comment section below. If you like this video, please smash the like button and also do consider subscribing to my channel for you to be updated with my latest videos on aviation and travel contents. You may also check my other videos up here. That's all for today everyone. Keep it safe and see you in my next video.